Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. I hope you're all doing great, and obviously welcome to this new video on Solana. Had to do a video after the news yesterday. Wanted to speak about that news for a little bit right here, and just in general wanted to give you my thoughts on the price of Solana now and what's going on. We always spoke about a potential reclaim right here of the main resistance level we had between 164 and 162. We have been able to do that right now, so that is great news. But I do think we needed the news yesterday to really do that, because before that, I mean, Solana was showing some promise, and I've always told you over the last week or 2 weeks or so that the fundamentals for Solana, even though we had a bearish breakout or a breakdown, whatever you want to call it, the fundamentals were actually quite good. I mean, you can still see that right now if you take a look at the metrics and you go to the DEX trading volumes. I mean, look at this. We had $12.1 billion in DEX volumes yesterday. But before that, it was already the highest since January. So great news. And then yesterday, obviously, the news that I'm talking about this entire time is a potential Solana ETF. The SEC has asked amendments to the 19.4B filings, right? So those are the initial filings for an ETF. Which is good news, because that means that they're most likely going to go forward with really thinking about these ETFs. With most often, if I think back to the Ethereum ETF last year, it meant that it was going to be approved. So that's fundamentally, of course, bullish for Solana. However, I do think, look, at this point of time, if I combine the fundamentals with the technicals, I have to be bullish on Solana as well, right? Because on the higher time frames, the level around 162 and 164 matters a lot. All right, that is the difference between consolidating or finding balance around 150 or consolidating and finding balance around 172. And by breaking above that level, we're still kind of stuck in limbo. We're stuck in the middle. But ultimately, if we combine the fundamentals, not only for Solana, but also in the general markets, I would say it's most likely that this is a real breakout and that we can see some continuation up higher. However, I do think, and this is something I spoke about yesterday in my premium group as well, because obviously then I had to make the decision yesterday after the news to buy into Solana and Solana beta, such as Jito, but also Jupiter, whether I should buy into that or not. And ultimately, my conclusion was no. Because if you compare this price action we've seen right now for Solana to the price action that Ethereum had last year, there's two main things. First of all, technically, we're much less strong. Solana barely broke above a key resistance level. Ethereum shot through all resistance levels it had, like the first 2 or 3. And then outside of that, the volume is actually still quite low. The volume we've had right here is lower than the volume we had, for example, the 21st of May. So then it's either because it's not really priced in yet, right? And the market still has to price it in. The market still has to digest this news and think about what it means, and still has to get positioned. Or it's already priced in that we were going to get that ETF, which is a possibility because some parties already had Solana at like a 75 to 90% chance to get an ETF in 2025. And this is being used more as a sell the news effect, right? So therefore, like, do I expect a Solana bull run? No, based on those reasons, right? So technically, I do think the price action has been good and constructive, and I think we can see a continuation of this bullish momentum into the balance we were also at right here for the majority of the month of May. But from there, look, do I think we have a chance to break out higher? Yes, and I will keep you updated on that. But initially, I would say stability and ranging price action is more likely than getting an instant continuation up higher. But those are my thoughts. I think that's what's most likely for Solana here. I think that's what you need to know. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.